Hi! In today's hsbDesign for Revit training session, we want to take a look at how you can export your single walls into hsbView. First, let's go to hsbView itself. So, in hsbView up here, you have the single project. At the moment, we have only one example of it. We are selecting the project. And then over here, you can select among the different elements, such as walls, roofs, etc. If you go to settings, you can see the path from which all of the projects are taken. So for me, it's on my desktop in the folder hsbView. I also have a folder called All Projects, which contains my single projects. As you can see in here, this folder contains all of the HMLX files and PDF files that are referring to this project. In the configuration folder, you have the single view configurations. So the view configuration, you can select it up here and it defines these views. So for this one, we have a hardware view. We have Zone 1 and Zone 2, the 3D viewer, electrical and hardware again. So right now, we have to create the HMLX files. In our case, you need one file per item container. And you don't have to create them one by one. We have an extra export setting for that one. So we select the whole model again, and we start the generator in configuration mode. And then we create a new export. I'm calling this one hsbView. And the export type that we'll use is the HMLX Element Exporter. And if you go to the settings, you can define the naming. The HMLX file type should be set to true so that we get an HMLX file and not an HMM file. And for the naming, you can do your own formatting. For the element name format, I'm using the number, and for the master panel name format, I'm using the description. We furthermore have the output SIP. It indicates whether SIP components that are not linked to an element should be output as elements. We're not having SIPs in this model. We'll set this one to false because SIPs are obviously no elements. And then we have the SIP name format again. This is formatted to the position number in this case, but you can use any format that you want. So after closing this, we have to select an output location, and we're using the All Projects folder for hsbView straight away. So we create a new folder in this folder, and we're calling this one Revit Training Model. And then we select the folder we just created and export the individual HMLX files into it. So we click OK, and then we run our export. As you can see, the export was completed successfully. We can now double check in our All Projects folder, and we can see that we have all of the HMLX files of our exterior walls, our floors, and our interior walls. If we move back to hsbView now, we can select our new project folder up here normally. Because our new project folder is not showing, we'll close hsbView and start it again to reload the projects. And now we can select the new training model. We called this folder Revit Training Model. And as you can see in here, right now we're looking at the item container E1, and we are in our structural zone at the moment, and we can see the position numbers of the single beams. Down here we have some dimensions. You can see a top view of our element, and if we switch into the 3D viewer, we can zoom in and out, and we can switch between different views. Also, a nice little 3D view. And furthermore, we have the option to explode our view, and we can also have the option to turn off the visibility of zones. So, for example, I could turn off zone -1. Next up, you also have the option to measure edges. So we know this edge of the sheet is 2,440 millimeters long. You could also switch between different render modes, so we could also have a solid mode, edge mode, or outline. Additionally, you can turn off the sheets or only turn off the beams. And you can also have this as a wall element. You can make this one not visible as well. I hope this video helped you understand how to implement hsbView into your design process. If you want to know more about hsbView, please visit the hsbcad.com website. Thank you for watching, and we wish you success in your design work with hsbDesign.